you can't talk about karma without talking about dharma, because actions take place in a field of existence, and the field of existence is nothing but dharma's rules, patterns. In the Vedic times, they called them ritam, R-T-A-M. Our word rhythm probably came from that root. There are rhythms here, patterns that are operating here. You know, like when they write a nonlinear equation and turn it over to a computer. Have you ever seen that? It's called the Mandelbrot set. You don't maybe not know. They take a nonlinear equation and let it start cranking out patterns, numbers, and pretty soon you start to see all kinds of organic things appearing in the pattern. It's just numbers generating these forms. So behind this obvious solid universe is this structure, this dharma, these principles. These are all dharmas. These are called the 19 or 23 tattvas, principles or cosmic principles. So if you're acting, if you don't understand the principles that are operating here, the forces and the rules, the physical forces, you don't understand the moral forces. There's the moral laws that are operating here, and the psychological forces that are operating here. Then you're going to find that dharma is going to rub against you. Your karma is going to come back at you in a way that you're not happy with, because you've violated dharma. You've run up against one of the psychological and moral or physical laws that are operating here. Ergo, the solution is what? To find out what dharma is. What to gain knowledge of your environment. If you every environment is controlled by dharma. So I noticed the violators of the satsang dharma are not here today, so I can mention that. No, I can mention that as an example, because you see, most everybody knows what the rules are, the satsang rules are, and they respect them. But if you're too wrapped up in what you want, in your own stuff, in your desires, you don't pay attention to the environment. You just don't think about it. You don't see everybody's behaving a certain way. They're following the dharma. There's order. It's all nicely set up. Everybody's enjoying. And you just bust right into that energy or that field, and disrupt it. And it irritated me, as you know. I got a little testy and tried to reestablish dharma. And at least half a dozen people came up to me afterwards and said, I thought that was a really good thing. You needed to reestablish dharma here. You need to make sure the rules are enforced. That if you just allow people to do whatever they want willy-nilly, the dharma goes to pieces.
What happened that you...
Nothing. It was just people disrupted. They came in late, and instead of sitting in the back and being polite, they came in here. I was already starting to talk and so forth and so on. So that's an example how the whole universe is structuring itself all the time, and it's a harmonious thing. Dharma is a harmonious thing. Why? Because it's based on awareness, and awareness is constant. Awareness doesn't fluctuate. It doesn't change. It's a steady basis, a steady basis for dharma. So when ignorance is not operating, everything, the whole dharma field operates beautifully. It's what they call Sat Yuga. It's an age or a time, and you don't have to think of it historically. It means that when everything's peaceful and beautiful and working together, the dharma field's in harmony with the basis of dharma, i.e. consciousness. And this is when you feel good and life flows along with ease and everything's lovely and beautiful and you feel happy. When ignorance is operating, then your desires and your fears come into play, and you lose connection with the built-in the Dharma, which is built into every psyche. Psyche of everything is controlled by Dharma, by these rules, these laws. And we talked yesterday about the structure of the mind, the subtle body, and what the dharmas or the rules operating in the subtle body are. It was and it's the same for everybody. Remember, we said there aren't any individuals here. There's just awareness plus three bodies. So we are just nothing but what the Dharma field operating here. But because we have free will, it's possible to what? Contravene Dharma. That is, we can go with our desires or our fears and they can keep us out of touch with what's right. We define Dharma as what's right is going with your nature, right? With what the imprint that you've been given. And right, then everything flows smoothly. So we talked about that in these verses, and I'll just read this one verse to refresh your memory, and then we'll talk about the Dharma of the causal body. Art's going to give a talk. Art's a friend of mine. He lives downstairs. He's an expert on Vedanta and Enneagram. And the Enneagram is basically the Dharma of the causal body, or what we call Ishvara. And he'll explain to you. He knows, I don't know much about it. He's an expert on it. That's why I've invited him to talk today. So anyway, for just the example that was given yesterday of Dharma, and there's several, this whole, in the text, we'll see it. We said that the Bhagavad Gita is a Dharma Shastra. Shastra means a weapon. So this text is a weapon, and a weapon is what protects you.